Hello, everybody. It's me again. It's Russell Mills. August 14th, 2018, on a Tuesday night. I want to say hello to everybody. I want to say thank you for anybody that has watched any of my videos on YouTube. I'm trying to get more subscribers. I'm trying to get more people to watch my videos. This video is about the legendary Jackie Robinson. I felt like making a video because I'm going to read stuff off my phone, stuff. So basically, I wanted to say thank you again for anybody that's watched my videos. And like I said, I'm going to read off my phone about the legendary Jackie Robinson. Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. He was born January 31st, 1919. He died on October 24th, 1972. He was 53 years old when he died. He was an American professional baseball player who became the first African-American player to play in the Major League Baseball, MLB, in the modern era. Robinson broke the baseball color line when the Brooklyn Dodgers started him at first base on April 15th, 1947. This is when the Dodgers signed Robinson. They heralded the end of a racial segregation in professional baseball that had black players to the Negro League since 1880s. Robinson was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962. And he was born in Cairo, Georgia. So he batted right-handed, threw right-handed. Like I said, his major league debut was April 15th, 1947 for the Brooklyn Dodgers. His last major league appearance was October 10th, 1956 for the Brooklyn Dodgers. His major league statistics: batting average .311, home runs 137, runs batted in 734. So, and he only played for the Brooklyn Dodgers from 1947 to 1956. He was a six-time All-Star in 1949 to 1954, World Series champ in 1955, National MVP in 1949. He was Major League Rookie of the Year in 1947, National Batting Champ in 1949. He was the two-time National Stolen Base Champion in 1947 and 1949. Jersey number 42, retired by all the Major League teams in baseball. It says Robinson had an exceptional 10-year Major League career. He was a recipient of the inaugural MVP MLB Rookie of the Year award in 1947. Was an All-Star for 6 consecutive seasons from 1949 to 1954. Won the National League's Most Valuable Player award in 1949. The first black player so honored. Robinson played in 6 World Series and contributed to the Dodgers' 1955 World Series championship. This is in 1997. Major League Baseball retired his uniform number 42 across all Major League teams. He was the first pro athlete in any sports to be so honored. MLB also adopted a new annual tradition, Jackie Robinson Day, for the first time on April 15, 2004, on which every player on every team wore number 42. So, Robinson's character, his use of nonviolence, and his unquestionable talent challenged the traditional basic of segregation, which then marked many other aspects of American life. He influenced the culture of and contributed significantly to the civil rights movement. Robinson was also the first black television analyst in Major League Baseball and the first black vice president of a major American corporation, choke full of nuts. In 1960, he helped establish the Freedom National Bank, an African-American owned financial institution based in Harlem, New York. After his death in 1972, he recognized his recognition of his achievements on and off the field. Robinson was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal and Presidential Medal of Freedom. So, and just give you guys a background. Like I said, you can look this stuff up. That's the one thing I like about the Google or the internet. As I said earlier, Robinson was born on January 31st, 1919, to a family of sharecroppers in Cairo, Georgia. He was the youngest of 5 children, born to Mally McGriff and Jerry Robinson, after siblings Edgar Frank, Matthew, nicknamed Mac, and Willie May. His middle name was in honor of former President Theodore Roosevelt, who died 25 days before Robinson was born. After Robinson's father left the family in 1920, they moved to Pasadena, California. The extended Robinson family established itself as a residential plot containing 2 small houses at the 121 Pepper Street in Pasadena. Robinson's mother worked various odd jobs to support the family. Growing up in a relatively poor and otherwise influenced community, Robinson and his minority friends were excluded from many recreational opportunities. This is as a result, Robinson joined the neighborhood gang, but his friend Carl Anderson pursued him to abandon it. Okay, John Muir High School. That's where he went. Since in 1935, Robinson graduated from Washington Junior High School and enrolled at the John Muir High School. Muir Tech recognized his athletic talents. Robinson, older brother Mac himself, an accomplished athlete and silver medalist at the 1936 Summer Olympics, and Frank inspired Jackie to pursue his interest in sports. At Muir Tech, Robinson played several sports at the varsity level and lettered in 4 of them: football, basketball, track, and baseball. He played shortstop and catcher on the baseball team, quarterback on the football team, and guard on the basketball team. With the track and field squad, he won the award in the broad jump. He was also a member of the tennis team. Since in 1936, Robinson won the Junior Boys Single Championship in the annual Pacific Coast Negro Tennis Tournament and earned a place on the I can't even say the word. I'm going to say Pomona Annual Baseball Tournament All-Star team, which included future Hall of Famers Ted Williams and Bob Lemon. In late January 1937, the Pasadena Star newspaper reported that Robinson was 2 years, had been the outstanding athlete at the Muir, starring in football, basketball, track, and baseball and tennis. Pasadena Junior College. At Muir, Robinson attended Pasadena Junior College, PJC, where he continued his athletic career by participating in basketball, football, baseball, and track. On the football team, he played quarterback and safety. He was a shortstop and a leadoff hitter for the baseball team and broke school broad jump records held by his brother Mac. At Muir High School, most of Jackie's teammates were white. While playing football at the PJC, Robinson suffered a fractured ankle, complications from which would eventually delay his deployment status while in the military. In 1938, he was elected to the All-Southland Junior College team for baseball and selected as the region's most valuable player. Since that year, Robinson was one of the 10 students named to the school's Order of the Mast and Dagger, awarded to students performing outstanding services to the school, whose scholarships and citizenships record is worthy of recognition. Also, while at PJC, he was elected to the Lancers, a student-run police organization responsible for patrolling various schools' activities. It says an incident at PJC illustrated Robinson's impatience with authority figures he perceived as racist, a character trait that would resurface repeatedly in his life. On January 25, 1938, he was arrested after vocally disputing the detention of a black friend by police. Robinson received a 2-year suspension sentence, but the incident, along with other rumored run-ins between Robinson and the police, gave Robinson a reputation for combativeness in the face of racial antagonism. While at PJC, he was motivated by the preacher, Reverend Carl Downs, to attend church on a regular basis, and Downs became a confidant for Robinson, a Christian. Towards the end of his PJC tenure, Frank Robinson, to whom Robinson felt closest among the three brothers, was killed in a motorcycle accident. The event motivated Jackie to pursue his athletic career at the nearby University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, where he could remain closer to Frank's family. It says after graduating from PJC in spring of 1939, Robinson enrolled at the UCLA, where he became the school's first athlete to win varsity letters in 4 sports: baseball, basketball, football, and track. He was one of the 4 black players on the Bruins 1939 football team. The others were Woody Strode, Kenny Washington, and Ray Bartlett. Washington, Strode, and Robinson made up 3 of the team's 4 backfield players at the time. When only a few black students played mainstream college football, this made UCLA college football's most integrated team. They were undefeated with 4 ties, 6-0-4. In the track and field, Robinson won the 1940 NCAA championship in the long jump at 24 feet, 10 1/4 inches. Belaying his future career, Robinson's worst sport at UCLA was baseball. He hit only .097 in his only season, although his first game he went 4 for 4 and twice stole home. While a senior at UCLA, Robinson met his future wife, Rachel Isom, by 1922, a UCLA freshman who was familiar with Robinson's athletic career at PJC. He played football as a senior, but also the 1940 Bruins won only 1 game. In the spring, Robinson left college just shy of graduation, despite his mother's and Umsum's reservation. He took a job as an assistant athletic director with the Government National Youth Administration, NYA, in California. It says after the government seized NYA operations, Robinson traveled to Honolulu in the fall of 1941 to play football for the semi-pros racially integrated Honolulu Bears. After a short season, Robinson returned to California in December of 1941 to pursue a career as a running back for the Los Angeles Bulldogs of the Pacific Coast Football League. By the time, however, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor had taken place, drawing the United States into World War II and ended Robinson's football career. It says in 1942, Robinson was drafted and assigned to segregated Army Cavalry Unit in Fort Riley, Kansas. Having relinquished qualifications, Robinson and several other black soldiers applied for administration to an officer candidate school, OCS, and located at the Fort Riley. Although the Army's initial July 1941 guidelines for OCS had been drafted as race neutral, few black applicants were admitted into OCS after subsequently directed by Army leaders. As a result, the application of Robinson and his colleagues were delayed for several months after protests by heavyweight boxing champ Joe Louis, then stationed in Fort Riley, helped of the Truman Gibson, then an assistant civilian aide to the Secretary of War. The men were accepted into the OCS. Experience led a personal friendship between Robinson and Louis. Upon finishing OCS, Robinson was commissioned as a second lieutenant in January 1943. Shortly afterward, Robinson and Zuma were engaged. Okay. So, what's this say? After receiving his commission, Robinson reassigned to Fort Hood, Texas, where he joined the 761 1st Black Panthers tank. While at the Fort Hood, Robinson often used his weekend leave to visit Reverend Carl Downs, president of the Sam Houston College, now Houston Tillotson University, nearby Austin, Texas. Downs had been Robinson's pastor at Scott United Methodist Church while Robinson attended PJC. This is an event on July 6, 1944, derailed Robinson's military career. While awaiting results of the hospital test on the ankle he had injured in junior college, Robinson boarded an Army bus with fellow officers' wives. Although the Army had commissioned its own unsegregated bus line, the bus driver ordered Robinson to move to the back of the bus. Robinson refused. This says the driver backed down, but after reached the end of the line, summons the military police, who took Robinson into custody. It says when Robinson later confirmed his investigation duty official about racial questioning by the officer and his assistant, the officer recommended Robinson to court-martialed after Robinson commanded in the 761's first. Paul L. Bates refused to authorize the legal action. Robinson was summarized, transferred to the 758, where the commander quickly consented to charge Robinson with multiple offenses, including, among other charges, public drunkenness, even though Robinson did not drink. I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to read this real quick. In 1945, when Robinson was at the Sam Houston College, the Kansas City Monarchs sent him a written offer to play professional baseball in the Negro League. Robinson accepted a contract for $400 per month. Although he played well for the Monarchs, Robinson was frustrated with the experience he had grown used to a structured playing environment in the college. In the Negro Leagues, disorganization and embrace of gambling interest appalled him. The hectic travel schedule also placed a burden on his relationship with his wife, whom he could not communicate only by letter. In all, Robinson played 47 games at shortstop for the Monarchs, hit .387 with 5 home runs and registered 13 stolen bases. He also appeared in the 1945 Negro League All-Star Game, going hitless in 5 at-bats. Since during the season, Robinson pursued potential major league interests. No black man has ever played in major league since Moses Fleetwood Walker in 1884, but the Boston Red Sox nevertheless held a tryout at Fenway Park for Robinson and other black players on April 16th. The trial, however, was a farce chiefly designed to assuage the sensibilities of powerful Boston City Councilman Isidore, I can't even say this guy's name, whatever. Even with the stands limited to management, Robinson was subject to racial epithets. He left the trial humiliated, and more than 14 years later, in 1959, Red Sox became the last major league team to integrate its roster. Other teams, however, had more serious interest in signing a black ball player. In the mid-40s, Branch Rickey, club president and general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, began to scout the Negro Leagues for possible addition to the Dodgers roster. Rickey selected Robinson from a list of promising black players and interviewed him for possible assignment in Brooklyn's International League Farm Club, the Montreal Royals. Rickey was especially interested in making sure the eventual signing could withstand the evident racial abuse that would be directed at him. In a famous 3-hour exchange on August 20th, 1945, Rickey asked Robinson if he could face the racial, without taking the bait, and reacted angrily, concerned given Robinson's prior arguments with law enforcement officials at PJC and in the military. Robinson, says, "Are you looking for a Negro who's afraid to fight back?" Rickey replied that he needed a Negro player with guts enough not to fight back. This is after obtaining commitment from Robinson to turn the other cheek to racial. Rickey Ricky agreed to sign him to a contract for $600 a month, equal up to $8,156 today. See, Ricky did not offer compensation to the Monarchs, instead believing all Negro players were free agents due to the contract not containing a reserve clause. So I'm just going to say this, guys. Jackie Robinson was a great player. And, the shit that he had to endure and just being a major league player, is crazy. So like I say to everybody all the time, know your history. Know your history about this man and what he had to go through. And it's like, I'm going to say this to us as Black people, know our history more and be proud of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and just be thankful that people like this paved way for us to be where we're at right now in these jobs and making sure that we're able to, make some money and take care of our families. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not always easy, as we know. So I'm going to say applaud to Jackie Robinson. It's too bad that he died at age 53, you know what I'm saying, and on October 24th in 1972. So, but just what he endured, just the 10-year career he had and him being in the Hall of Fame. I salute him. I salute this brother. And I just want to say thank you for anybody that's watched my videos. And then, like I said, I just read a lot of this off my phone. I was, this would have been an hour and some change video. I don't want to be going to too long of videos, but I want to say thank you for anybody that's watched my videos. Take care. I want more subscribers.